everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports.
In today's game, we have a matchup of two QBs who are no strangers to each other. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 49. It's Russell Wilson versus Tom Brady. So let's get you up to Foxborough as we check in with our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Coming up is a rematch of that memorable Super Bowl 49 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. They come up in an offset eye. On first down, Brady. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Chris Hogan, 75 yards. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. First carry for Thomas Rawls. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Two Patriots there to bring him down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL, because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
On second down, Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
There's completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
On first and 10, it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
Malcolm Butler's rise to fame culminated with a fantastic play in the Super Bowl, but what a tremendous success story. Totally off the radar, has turned himself into an NFL starter.
Second and 10, it's Wilson again. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Wilson on first down. And Graham's got it over the middle. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And now it's a 3rd and 4 situation for the offense. Now Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Play clock winding down. They'll try to run with Rawls. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Well, partner, earlier you were talking about Russell Wilson and what he's done this year as the focal point without a solid running game. Thomas Rawls, 349 yards on the ground. Christian Michael is the team's leading rusher. He's not even with the crew anymore.
And that just tells you the evolution of Seattle's offense, because they've always been a tailback-centric team. Okay, you remember how they went to the Super Bowl, who carried the football, big-time yardage, big-time production, and Russell Wilson played off of that. Without that this year, he became the focal point, and they became a pass-first team.
So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it, because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Danny Amendola on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. K.J. Wright in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit. An illegal contact on a quarterback, the defenders really have to get in line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. And Charles, a note on Blunt, his best year statistically this season in his 8-year career. First time topping 1,000 yards since he was a rookie.
Yeah, he went over 1,100. 18 touchdowns on the ground. What a phenomenal season. If I'm not mistaken, he had never had more than 7 rushing touchdowns in a year before.
Correct.
Wow, what a big-time year for him. And all that does is open things up for Tom Brady in the passing game.
Brady now on first down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, I just want to sneak in here as we look at the playoff picture that I have to say the Giants and Packers game, or the 4 wild card games, is the one I'm looking forward to the most. How about you?
I'm looking forward to it as well, and I think on the surface, Green Bay has just about every advantage in this one. They're at home. Yeah. No one hotter than Aaron Rodgers right now. Green Bay, you know, they were 4-6 at one point, finished 10-6 and won the division. They're super hot. But New York knows how to go into Green Bay and beat them. You know, traditionally, the last 2 times they've gone in, they've beaten Green Bay, and the Packers have been favored both times. But Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr. thought to be lightning hot in that game.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Martellus Bennett, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. So the D-line's going to spread out.
Easy.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And now another one thrown incomplete. James White, the man he was looking for out of the backfield. And it's 4th down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Kill. 220. 50. Check 3. Hey, Alabama. Check 4. Hey, Alabama.
Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. And he's got Bennett. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. 12 yards is the pickup there. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. K.J. Wright coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. Brady. Caught left side, Bennett. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They go again with Rawls. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
22 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down. Now a toss. This is Rawls. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, Rawls. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Marcel Reese, 26 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession in the deep.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, here's Brady. And his throw here's incomplete. The new acquisition, Martellus Bennett, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football. But today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Easy.
Now Brady. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Check 50. Check 50. Wait, 20. Orange. What?
They do go for it. It's Brady. Looking middle, and that's complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On 1st down, Brady. And he will find his man on the outside. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. It's a pickup of 19, and it gives the Pats a 1st down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. And how about this line out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Wilson, and to the left side here, Wilson. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Wilson, a give to Rolls. Room here to run. Cuts back left, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rolls, 37 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Brady, and caught. This is Bennett, the tight end, and he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Brady now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes. In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Brady to throw on second down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
To throw, it's Brady. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
So they're operating in the red zone. Brady gives now to Blunt. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mike Morgan in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Brady now on 3rd and goal. That's caught at the 3. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Here's the battering ram Blunt. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. LeGarrette Blunt taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Patriots are back within a score. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Brady will look to throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, Now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Now Wilson on second down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. They're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And boy, he can get hurt.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Back now in Foxborough. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. First down, this is Rawls. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Complete outright to Kurz. A good pickup there, 22. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They come up in an offset eye. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll run it now out of the gun. And Blount loses the football. Offense with a fumble, but they recover it. And it brings up second down.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away. 3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Sets up the screen to Lewis. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Let's go. Easy.
Now Brady got to have this one. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's got time. A strong running. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time.
A crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
And they'll try to close it out now. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They stay on the ground. Rawls again. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back, and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
And he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Surveying the field. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over.